from 1882 to till date. I have each and every stamp. But as far as he has done something, he has gone beyond a stamp and tried to find out as to the history of the stamp. When you see a particular stamp, you just get to know what that stamp is, but you don't get to know more about that particular thing. But he has tried in 70s and 80s. He has done this. Not in the. We have to always remember this. I have been telling people that we have to remember this particular thing, that was an era when the internet was not there. So now with the click of a button you get all the information. But it was a period when nothing was there, and in a remote place like Karwar, where we had little access to the outside world. Because he was a voracious reader and all, we used to subscribe those days National Geographic magazines like National Geographic, and he used to read, and then whenever he used to find anything relating to that coin, then he used to just relating to the stamp, then he just has collected and then has put them in an album form, if you look, which we call roughly these days we call it as a scrapbook. So in that format he has put, and I'll show you that is very interesting. It's kind of an encyclopedia that so it's the collection he has is very interesting. This is philately, called as King of Hobbies collection of stamps. And now I am showing you an album which has the collection of these stamps of pre-independence, and it starts with 1852. And these are Sindoc. These are very rare. Of course, the originals are not there with us. We have only put some photo prints of them. And we have our collection starting from 1882. And right now I am just showing you these this collection starting from 1882. And they are extremely rare now. This is of Queen Victoria. I just try to show some of them, not all. These are some very rare ones of King George V. This is the inauguration of New Delhi, 1931. It started with King George V, where these type of stamps depicting the Indian architecture, the stamps were brought for the first time in 1931 when the inauguration of New Delhi took place. And then we have again King George V, the Silver Jubilee period of King George, the reign of King George V. And then we come to the 1947, the first stamp that was bought of independent India. This is the national flag, and then the entire collection starts, and these are the series of stamps which are bought in the memory of the father of our nation, paying homage to Mahatma, bought in the year 15th August 1948, and this is of 10 rupees denomination, said to be the most expensive stamp right now of India. In philately, we have something called as thematic collection, where you choose a theme. People have different ways of collecting stamps because they can't collect everything, and it's not possible also practically. So flora and fauna, or people collect only ships, stamps on ships. Then on anything, people collect even stamps on lighthouses and all. My father had a fascination for paintings, and now we have an album or the collection regarding the stamps by world-renowned painters. These are all around 5 or 6 of these albums are there. This is of Michelangelo, and now these are the stamps, and my father has tried to give some information about the artist, about the painter, and then try to give now you can see how beautifully he has tried to not only put the stamps there, because as you know, stamp is a very tiny object. it's not possible to enjoy the picture that is there in the stamp. And then he has tried to put a picture of this taken out from a different source and tried to put it in this order so that the visitor or the viewer can actually enjoy the collection. So he has made it very, very, very interesting. It's in Vatican Sistine Chapel. So it's very beautiful. If somebody is under the impression that I was telling that again, that the stamp has come with the picture, it's totally wrong. The stamp was a separate collection. It was in my father's collection, and then later what he did was, when he got the picture, then he has tried to put the picture with the stamp. So that is how he has tried to do a sort of an give a different what you call an this is people you in normal stamp collection, this doesn't happen. People just collect stamps and put them, but what my father has tried to do is collect the picture of that particular stamp and put them along with the stamp so that one can understand it better. Now we are at the collection of foreign stamps, and it's not possible to collect each stamp of each and every country. What my father has tried to do is he has tried to collect this country wise and alphabetically. So that this comes volume number 6. So we have 15 volumes like this, and in volume number 6 it's now this is Gambia. So what my father has tried to do is, like, he has tried to put a small map of that and try to show it where exactly Gambia is, so that people can understand from which place it is. And that is how he has tried to, when he has made this album, he has tried to put not only the stamps but also tried to put some information on those stamps, which I'll show you. For example, now we have come to Germany. So Germany has tried to put the map also, of course. That time it was East and West Germany, and then try to give some information as to try to give some photos or pictures of those countries. Now we have come to Hitler, the stamps on Hitler. So he has tried to put a picture of Hitler, and like that he has tried to give, not only put the stamps but also try to give information on that country or the people, etc. So that's how he has tried to make it very interesting, trying to put the map and then where exactly the country comes, and that is how it's quite educative. Like, I mean, it's not only merely putting the stamps in an album. He has tried to make it interesting by putting all this information. This is Portuguese India. So before the liberation, these were the stamps that were there of Portuguese India. That's Goa, and this has a very interesting collection. And then he has tried to put some photos there, photo pictures there. And wherever some stamp is, try to give some information on that particular stamp. So he has tried to collect this from different, maybe newspapers or Reader's Digest, or maybe different magazines, Illustrated Weekly or something like that, and try to make it interesting. Because from a stamp it's very difficult to understand as to what exactly that stamp is all about. So he has tried to say, now this is the old Goa, the famous church. Now he has tried to put a picture of that because the stamp is there here. But if anybody is under the impression that this stamp has come along with the picture, no, it's not so. My father has collected this stamp and then collected the picture and then put them together so that the person can understand how it is. Now you can see even some of these paintings that are there. This is an exclusive album on Mahatma Gandhi, a special album. This is made of khadi, if you can see. But this is not, this is an album wherein my father has tried to, because we have a connection with Mahatma Gandhi in the sense that Mahatma Gandhi stayed in in our house, in my ancestral house, on 28th February 1934. So this is the 90th year, and we have an entire collection of stamps brought out on Gandhiji. Not only stamps but also the postcards and all. These are extremely rare these days, and the inland letters are also there, the postcards are also there, and we have each and every stamp on Mahatma Gandhi. It is said that around 120 nations have brought stamps on Mahatma Gandhi, and we have the entire collection. And because my father had special interest on this, we could have this collection. I am showing you here the Indian collection, the Indian first stamps that were brought, the entire series that were brought on Mahatma Gandhi. Then my father had just tried to collect some information or some photos on Mahatma Gandhi, and again tried to make it interesting. It is not that it is just putting the stamps. As I was telling, this was the very unique feature of the collection pattern of my father, that he had this system of not only putting the stamps but also putting some information on the stamps. You only get the space to put the stamps, but the additional information that is there, which has been put, is entirely by my father. So he has tried to put them. This is United States of America, which in 1961 brought out these stamps. Entire, almost all the countries in the world. This is by Great Britain. In 1969, they brought out this stamp, the centenary year of Gandhi's birth. This Republic of Gabon. It's a wonderful collection. It's a wonderful collection. And the way in which he has tried to put them is also very interesting. Very interesting. Now you have the printed photos here of Gandhiji speaking on a telephone. Then he has tried to find out from where it is and tried to put this photo here. So he has made it quite interesting. So let us. We always, whenever I show my father's collection to all those who come to see, I take them back to the 70s and 80s, where we had no internet connection, no Google Guru, nothing was there, and the resources were also very limited. And the place, again, Karwar, which I again and again say, a very remote place, though a district headquarters. And in those circumstances, the kind of collection that my father has made is truly astounding. It's truly amazing. I just want to show you something very interesting. This is with regard to stamps only. I just referred to something called as scrapbook. Now what he has tried to do is collecting stamps on a particular subject. For example, here the Statue of Liberty. He has collected this stamps on Statue of Liberty of different countries. Now the countries don't matter. The subject, what is the subject matter? It is the Statue of Liberty. So he has tried to collect the information on Statue of Liberty from different sources and tried to put them along with the stamps, so that it makes a very interesting piece of reading for all those who come to view this. So he has now look at this. There are stamps, but he has probably from some magazine, and has tried to give as to show us as to how exactly what's the engineering. Now this is the picture, but from inside how it is, how you can go upstairs, and how you can reach the top. And now the information on the Statue of Liberty is totally given. Now about the sculptors, the engineers, who were the stamp on Bartholdi was the sculptor, and then that's how he has tried to bring about some interest in the stamp, and for all those who come to see this, he has tried to create interest in this the Leonardo da Vinci's very famous Last Supper. So he has put the stamp of that of different countries and try to put the picture also of the famous artist.
So it's almost like a Google on paper.
Yes, Google on paper. Now Tagore in heaven. Tagore, the pictures are there. What exactly? So it's very interesting to just read it. Now the Edison effect. Put a stamp there and then give an information. Give entire in a nutshell. In a nutshell, it is not something that it will take a lot of time of yours. Now, for example, Robert Koch. Now, what exactly? Who was he? What is his contribution to science? Like that, he was. Now you know about Norman Rockwell. So that's how he has tried to. This is the last days of the Shah. Now we Karwar, we have an lighthouse which we call as Devgad. But the history of lighthouse. Now you can see the beautiful stamps on lighthouses. But he has tried to collect information as to how this concept of lighthouses started, where exactly how the need for lighthouses was felt and how this started, and how the different stamps you can see of there are different countries. So, and now this is of the scarecrow, which you find nowadays in your fields and all. Very interesting.
It's
interesting. Very interesting. You find them. You know, you go to we have fields here. We have found scarecrows, but nobody knows that as to how they were actually started. Who made the beginning or how it started. Like, very beautiful it is. Very beautiful. And very interesting thing is my father has typed it on his own. With his Remington typewriter and with less mistakes, I can say. And this is his own handwriting. And then tried to put this stamps on by the great 1483 to 1580 was his era. And Raphael. So he has tried to put the stamps along with the pictures. Now this is the stamp brought out by Vietnam. Now he has tried to take out a picture. This is probably a postcard. So postcard, and then try to give some information about this. Again, I want to remind you all that a period when internet was not there, when Google was not there. Again by the same artist, Raphael. Now we are at the famous and my favorite Leonardo da Vinci, of course everyone's, and the Mona Lisa's, the man who made Mona Lisa. So now look at this, how interesting he has tried to make it, his own handwriting here, typed something here, giving the information. And then the stamps come here. The stamps come here, and then the photo of that particular stamp. This is that famous picture of Mona Lisa. So that's how it is. It is so wonderful to now look back at the person and to see the kind of collection that he has tried to keep, and a person who never went after any sort of publicity or any this one. This is Paul Gauguin, again a very well-known painter. I had taken out this pages are not in order because I had taken out them for some exhibition a school had celebrated.
So what are the challenges of keeping these kind of collections today that you face today to keep, maintain, sustain?
No, the challenges are in my experience it's truly challenging. It's truly challenging. Even whether we are on the coastline, the beach is very much here. We are on the almost on the beach here. The humidity is very high here, and we have very bad monsoon. The rains are very heavy here, and the moisture issue is there, and the papers that were used by my father in the 70s and 80s were not of the good quality, and all those things are there. To be honest, I find it extremely difficult to maintain these things, but to the best of my ability, I have been trying to do whatever is possible.
And that's how legacies are preserved and sustained.
Yes,
and
yes. And basically, I have interest in these things, so I attend to many exhibitions, seminars, and all, and workshops and all, and I do participate. I travel all over India, and I have tried to see, and on preservation also I am doing a lot of work, still studying and trying to see as to how best I can preserve this collection.